If you've been wondering what the whole buzz about Ibeju Lekki is, and you're interested in knowing what exactly is making everybody jump to, Ibeju Lekki axis, why are people buying in acres and hectares, buying estates, and what exactly is happening, then you should watch this video till the end. And of course, if you have purchased the property around the Ibeju Lekki corridor, then of course this video would also be helpful to you. My name is Black Girl Realtor, and today I want to pick a particular property to lay emphasis on, and that's Ocean View Estate Phase 2. Now, Ocean View Estate Phase 2 is located in Odelmi in Ibeju Lekki, and this shares proximity with amazing places like the Dangote Refinery, La Campagne Tropicana, you have the Lekki Free Trade Zone, you have Dangote Fertilizer, you have multi-billion-dollar investments around those axes. And that's one of the major reasons why lots of people are buying properties within this axis. Now, put it in a layman's language, people are buying there because there are lots of opportunities there. Imagine an area where you have international investors plunging money into, quarterly, annually, monthly. There are constructions around that axis. In fact, the Lekki Deep Seaport is always taking a new dimension each time we go around there. So today, when I get to site, I'll make sure that I attach a video of the Lekki Deep Seaport so that you can see what it looks like. Number two, now there are lots of properties around these Odelmi axis that are very, very affordable. Not only are they affordable, they are also very accessible, and they are in areas that are developing. So now this means that if you want to really have a good picture of what I'm talking about, then think about how Lekki was some 20-25 years ago. You know how it was still, I think it was still Morocco at that time. It wasn't as developed as it is. But now, if you are to get a property around the Lekki axis, you're going to be spending hundreds of millions. So this means that if you're buying in an area like Ibeju Lekki, it is a developing community. And in the next 10, 12 years, in fact, 7 to 10 years, it's going to be so massive. And getting a property around there would definitely cost a fortune. So if you have gotten a property around that axis, I would encourage you to get more plots. And if you're yet to get a property around that axis, you're missing out on a lot. I don't want you missing out on important deals like that. That's why I'm sharing this video with you. So now let's talk about Ocean View Estate Phase 2. Like I said earlier, this property is located in Odelmi in Ibeju Lekki, and it has an amazing lake that is just not far away. And this is such a fantastic place because it means that there will be a breath of fresh air. There's just something about nature that when you go there to relax, it brings this serenity and tranquility. And yes, that's why most people are rushing properties around Odelmi precisely. All right, so let's also talk about the plot sizes that are available there. We currently have 300 square meters and 600 square meter. In my next video, I'm going to educate you on what you can use your 300 square meters to build and your 600 square meters as well. So 300 square meters in this context is half a plot. So in case you have half a plot or you're intending to buy half a plot and you're still wondering, I think it's too small. Well, yes, it's a small one, but it's not useless. I mean, there are a lot of things that you can do with your 300 square meters. There are lots of options that you can explore. The title on it is freehold. Just like many other properties around the axis, the title on it is freehold. So it has a registered survey and a deed of assignment. One of the major things that we've been able to establish in this video is the fact that if you're buying a property around this axis, trust me, it is because you have foresight and you'd like to get a property such that in the next few years you will be celebrating because that property would have, grown so much in terms of returns on investment, and then you'll be making a lot of profits off it. So it's not a property that you can get to buy and build immediately because you want to settle in the next 6 months or 1 year. If you want such properties, then you should be coming closer to town where you already have basic amenities. The purpose of buying a property is so crucial to your investment, right? By this, I mean that if you intend to buy a property for a long-term investment, then you should consider areas that are developing. This is because they are quite affordable. And yes, buying it there, you watch how the property develops. You watch, it's a thing of joy when you see that, oh, I bought this place, it was a bush, and now you've come back probably some 10 years later, or maybe some 7 years later. You could even be lucky some 5 years later. And then you can see the drainage being put in place. You can see the street lights. You can see infrastructure. You can see, new places. You can see government infrastructure. You can see government establishment. You can see private companies springing up here and there. And then you can see new construction. Once you turn to your left, to your right, you can see the roads being paved. You can see literally everything everything that is being done. And then it gives you this form of fulfillment that, wow, I'm such a wise person. I have said. So what we have currently in Ocean View Estate Phase 2, the 600 square meters is for 550,000 naira. So now here is the catch. If you want to get a property around there and really maximize this property, you shouldn't be getting in plots. You should be thinking of acres. Think of buying 6 plots. 6 plots will be 550,000 naira times 6. And of course, you can get, some sort of discount because you're purchasing in bulk. All right. And so this means that in the next probably 4 to 5 years, when the price of the property has increased, let's assume that each plot now is 550,000 naira, and in the next 5 years each of that plot will be worth 3 million naira. Now calculate 3 million naira in 6 places. That's going to be 18 million naira, and you purchased a whole 6 plots for less than 3.5 million naira. Now that's what we are talking about, real estate breathing money. Moving on, the title on the property, like I said earlier, is registered survey and deed of assignment. And of course, when you purchase a property, it is important that you get, accompanying documents. And these documents for Ocean View Estate Phase 2 include a receipt, you get an invoice, you get an acknowledgement letter, you also get your contract of sales. The contract of sales is very important. This shows that yes, a business transaction has actually occurred between myself and the client. In this context, myself, I'm representing the interest of the organization, and you are my client, so you get a contract of sales. And afterwards, you get a deed of assignment, you get a registered survey, and then of course you get a letter of allocation once it's time for the physical allocation.